All right. So we're gonna finish up. So before we was disturbed, Baba was telling us about what a Baba was and the relationship. So what happens at Simba Camp for those people that's new? Because you know we assume that everybody's blessed like us to have experienced something like this.
Well, first of all, it teaches humility. It gives the kids a chance to really let their mind grow naturally versus with video games. It allows them to have a space where they can feel safe and talk and see little things like frogs, rodents.
Rodents? What kind of rodents? Wait, rodents?
Rodents.
What kind of rodents?
Well, chipmunks. I'm not
chipmunks.
talking about
Okay, all right. Chipmunk, okay.
Well, sometimes they are mistaken as a rat, but they're not.
The chipmunk.
Right. One of the biggest things, one of the highlights for me this year was for me to ask some 8-year-old boys the difference between a rooster and a chicken.
Oh, why you laugh? What's the...
I laugh because they think a rooster wakes you up and a chicken you eat.
Oh, okay.
They don't understand why you don't have more than one rooster, why you only have one rooster for all those hens.
All right, question. Here's another question. Why is Simba Camp important?
I think it allows space, adequate space, for our kids to expand their creativity, which is Kuumba. That's one of the principles we teach our kids. Now, we can't teach creativity if we don't allow time for them to do it.
Wow.
So these cell phones, we noticed even after the 4th day, they got what I call a withdrawal from technology. When you depend on external things to make you feel good, and then you take it away, you're going to go through withdrawal. So these kids had to rely on being themselves. They made arts and crafts. They touched each other by making masks. We dispelled that myth that you can't touch another man. We did a lot of things. We replicated what our ancestors went through during slavery, and that was very impactful.
So what's the importance of recreating the scene of going into slavery? Well, why is that important? Because it seems like a lot of our people want to forget slavery even existed. So why even take the kids through that experience, somebody might ask?
Well, there's an expression. For example, if you take a totem pole in Native American culture, but we have totem poles too, means that you stand on the shoulders of someone who's great. And a lot of times, who was that person? What did they go through? It's not just the foundation. We go to the bedrock. We go way underneath there to understand our own existence and why we exist. The kids have to know that we were born not slaves. We were enslaved. There's a big difference. Big difference. So by remembering that allows you to love yourself versus trying to hate somebody else. We need to know that. That's something that we can't hide. It happened to us. And in fact, Dr. Neem Ekbar has a book out called The Psychological Chains of Slavery. There are a lot of things that happen to us and we wonder why. You know, and this answers why. For example, why is it I hate my brother sometimes that might be darker than I am or lighter than I am and all those kind of things. It goes way back. So when you understand that, then you do better. You know, even the NIG word, I don't even want to say it.
Want me to say it for you?
Yeah, say it for me.
Nigga.
All right. I don't care how you say it. If you look on the map, you don't see no Negro land. The Portuguese coined that phrase for us, and we adopted it. And that's why we have one of my principles that says that I determine who I am, not anybody else.
Question for some of the young people. Which principle is he talking about? Say that again. What is it?
Gucci chocolate.
Oh man, y'all right. Y'all own it. The young men are on it. I'm gonna come to some of y'all in a second. But Baba, also known as Doc, you hit on a point that I want to go back to. You said that there's a difference between being a slave and being enslaved. Can you explain that difference?
First of all, a slave doesn't have no direction, nothing in the past that makes them who they are. We have a strong history. We have civilizations that were built long before the Europeans come over and took it from us. And that's what they tried to erase. When the Romans and the Greeks and all those folks went over and stole it, we gave it to them, but then they misused it and took it from us. We need to know that we are the origin of a lot of things that exist today. The whole idea that Europeans developed and made the modern day things that we use today is a myth. I'm not saying all of them, but we don't get credit for the things that come from our culture, period. And we need to know that.
Okay,
we
cool.
need to know. Because when you're enslaved, it means that you're doing something somebody wants you to do on the outside. But a slave doesn't know nothing. It's just like a dog. You can raise a dog to do what he wanted to do. But when you got your own stuff, your own culture, your own attitude about life, then they try to beat it out of you. That's a big difference. But it's already in us. It's in our DNA. You know, all of us weren't kings and queens, but we all have moral values, you know, about working and doing things for each other. So a slave is like something that didn't have anything in the first place. So you give it to them. We had something in the first place. We had a culture. We had a religion. But they try to give it theirs.
Culture. What is the importance of exposing young people to culture?
It's important to understand culture simply because we have adopted somebody else's culture. And we need to know who we really are versus somebody else's. The whole idea of, let's take the example. This may sound kind of rough, but if you think about it, our ancestors were very creative. The whole thing about eating chitlins. Why don't we eat chitlins in the first place? For some of us. Because that's the only thing we had to eat, but our sisters made it taste good for it to survive. Off of that. So we are a race of people who had to learn how to adapt, had to learn how to persevere, and it's in our DNA, and we just need to make sure our young people continue that saga. Somebody got to break the cycle, and that's what I'm saying now. That cycle been going on for years and years and years of us not knowing who we really are and appreciating that, so forth. So I think this new generation is doing it in a lot of different ways. You know, in the music, in our dance. Look at the imitation. What they say, imitation is a flat.
The greatest compliment.
The greatest compliment is when somebody try to imitate what you're doing, like that. So I'm just saying that for young people, black people, we really need to understand. There's a gentleman by the name of, in our workbook, an African American gentleman by the name of Leonard. He put together a cartridge for game system.
In 1,000 feet, turn right onto East 109th Avenue. Turn right onto East 109th Avenue.
In the 60s. But his legend will live on. And a lot of guys don't know that. And he started out fixing TV sets, messing around with gadgets and things like this. And so his father found out that, hey, he liked doing this kind of stuff. And he cultivated that.
Onto Delaware Parkway.
A lot of times we don't cultivate the interests our kids have. We want to be like we want to be. Like we were, you know. So I just think that it's important for us to understand that we do have a culture and that we need to continue it and pass it on down to someone else. Because if not, we're going to lose it.
So, out of everything at Simba, what is your favorite thing to do with the young people?
Turn left right here.
Now I'm trying to find a gas station. There's a speedway down here. We almost out of gas, my man.
I believe the first thing for me
head south on Delaware Parkway toward East 110th Avenue.
Libations or Tampico.
Turn left onto
First
Broadway.
thing in the morning. And if you're not familiar with libations, it's letting our young people know our ancestors and recognize that we stand on the shoulders of the ancestors. We honor them.
We went to the gas station.
And to set the tone for the day, it feels good. We get up, I clown with them, we do exercise, and what I try to wake up is their physicalness, the mental state, and their fun state. We dance, we hear the drums, and of course there's always an orientation about the drum, why the drum's important to us. But just to have them touch each other and do exercises and then talk about our ancestors, the ones that made us great. And a lot of times we'll focus just on a certain gender. Let's face it, sometimes this whole thing about sexism and how we don't honor our women, we might just take one morning and just honor all the women that we know of who made our culture great. And I'm really impressed with how many young people do know about women in the past. And then sometimes we remind them that these athletes who are making millions of dollars, there are people who paved the way for them who didn't make that kind of money. You know. So
take the next right onto South Superior Drive, then turn
really
right
important
onto
to
East North
understand
Street.
It's on my side?
No.
It's on your side.
Okay.
So libation is one of the things I like doing in the morning because you get a chance to see them first thing in the morning, and I get hugs every morning from 50 boys, and that's soul energy. You talking about soul energy? Man, no, I'm gonna call it soul energy.
Soul energy. Soul energy. All right, so now, hey, so I'm gonna bring it back to some of the young people that went to Simba camp. Some of y'all gonna let me know what did y'all pick up? Anybody want to get on the mic? Want to talk a little bit about Simba?
Go ahead. I'll talk.
All right, let me hear you. Come on.
One thing.
Good talk.
One thing. Oh yeah, that's one thing I picked up. The kids, messing with kids and stuff like that. Having your own kids, they follow you, and they follow the things that you do. And like the kids that I have in my cabin, like Nehemiah, what was one of the catchphrases I had?
Kids in your cabin.
I was a junior nation builder this year.
What?
Yeah. And now I'm a nation builder.
You a nation builder?
Yeah.
Who?
Me, Andrew, me and Kevin.
Cool. I'm glad.
I'm still a Simba.
A nation builder.
Since you saying you a full-fledged nation builder.
All right, at Simba.
So young. What is you, 12?
Oh my God. I'm passing up the mic. I don't even want to talk no more. You just hurt my feelings. What's your nation builder, Kev?
A nation builder is somebody who helps out, builds a nation, helps out with the nation, serves food, helps out the kids when they need help. Somebody to cry on to.
Somebody to cry on to.
Yeah, somebody.
What's all this crying? I done heard crying several times. What's important about? So
it's a human function. You're supposed to cry.
And men act.
Wait a minute, hold on. I heard men ain't supposed to cry, man. Like,
They
now you
supposed
bringing
to.
on some other stuff, man. What is you talking about?
You a human. You supposed to cry.
You supposed to cry.
It's an emotion. It's an
emotion. Is you talking soft stuff? What you talking
I
about,
ain't talking
man?
soft stuff. That's real stuff. That's
Well,
real
don't
stuff.
explain. What?
Don't explain. Well, I mean, it's just you gotta be real. It's just a humanly function. If you can't cry on somebody's shoulder, who you gonna love? You gotta love.
All right, cool. Well, let me reframe you because you ain't.
Y'all, I can't get exactly your stuff.
See, because what is the importance for black men as far as these tears, as far as these emotions? Because our whole life, I basically came up through a young man academy where we weren't allowed to cry. So now what you're telling me is that it's okay to cry.
Yeah.
Why? And you say it's a human function. Yeah, it's a human function, but we're taught that we're supposed to hold it back. And you being a nation builder, you got to be able to explain this to one of your young men that might be in conflict about it.
I mean,
You was crying because I said you were swell.
No, let me tell you. What's the question? Hatim? What was the question?
the question is why should our black men cry?
Because we black men went through so many emotions back in the day, and these emotions now that I feel like they should cry. We going through so much things now where our brothers is getting shot. Our brothers is going through pain because they other brothers shot them. So it's only okay to cry. It's pain that's going to be brought down to all of us. And all of us have pain that we need to let go. So at this time, I just feel like it's time to cry. Everybody need to let out their own emotions. Everybody going through some things. And so we black men just need to cry. We don't got to cry alone. We have brothers. That's why we safe in our brothers' arms. So I think we should all just be able to cry.
I mean, all right, but I don't know, man. I ain't really comfortable. I mean, you ain't convinced me.
For like 5 seconds. I just said it for Martin Luther King.
I heard you, man. I mean, but you know, even with Martin Luther King, I'm not really convinced on that right now. So I'm gonna change the subject. So, as a nation builder, what was your favorite part of the camp? Hey, whoever. Yeah. Hold on. Time out. Hold on. Junior Nation Builder.
I recently got promoted to Junior Nation Builder.
How old are you? 12?
I'm 16.
You 16?
16.
Junior Nation Builder.
Get off my back.
Hopefully I'm with him next year.
I recently got promoted, and it's not easy.
Can I come on your back?
It's real hard work.
No, your head.
And I think my favorite part was getting promoted because I put in so much work over the time that I've been in fire, and I've done so much.
How many times you been in fire? All right, cool. You said fire. So what, they throw you in the fire? What's going on? Because you lit people, some people not. What's fire?
Nah, fire is like it's the young people that's like helping out with the camp. Basically.
How long you been in there?
3 years.
3 years?
Yeah.
You been in Simba for 3 years?
Well, I've been at the camp for 6 years. So.
Damn, I've been gone a long
been
time.
here a while.
What's your name?
Ross.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I've been blessed to be able to see Ross just develop.
All right, go on, Ross. Go on, finish describing.
Yeah, it's basically you trying to step into that Junior Nation Builder role, and trying to do your best to become a Junior Nation Builder so you can become a Nation Builder, and try and mature a little bit. It's basically your time to step up a little bit. Step up. So it's not easy, but that's life. Like sometimes you gotta step it up. So yeah.
Sometimes you gotta step it up.
Right.
I want to say this for the Nation Builder. You guys are really important today to help resolve a little conflict every now and then. And the way, the language that you use
what are you doing?
is different because you've been through it yourself. So by you being through it as a Nation Builder, you allow the kids to understand, okay, this is something I got to go
Get
through.
in the back.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. That's important.
All right, I'm a parent, and I'm interested in possibly letting my son come to this camp where he could cry and stuff like that. Why? What other reason should, as speaking as nation builders, why should I let my child come?
You should let your child come because for me, as a nation builder, as a new nation builder, for me, this is a real good like stress reliever. It helps me like be with the kids, helps me learn more about patience with the kids and learn how to help them with their problems and cope with it. It just is a real good way to let the kids be themselves instead of them having to follow their friends and not be their self. They can be their self and have fun and do anything possible. So
One Nation Builder uses the term authentic.
Authentic?
Yep. You
Yeah,
be who you really need to be. You don't have to fake it. True self. Yeah. And it's safe to do it. That's what Simba represents. Safe in my brother's arm. Oh, Simsa, safe in my sister's arm.
Yeah. And it's all love too. Nothing but love for young black men, young black women. It's nothing but love. It's love in the community that's strong. It's strong. Too black, too strong. And it's
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's cute.
I say send your kids because they need to have fun, even if their life is hard. Like they need to have some time to get away from it all. Have fun, do some stuff with other kids that look like them, and that talk like them. They need time to just be kids.
And another thing from Nation Builder Kevin is that you get to meet kids from different areas of the country. You get to meet people from, like, I'm from Columbus, but you can meet people from Chicago, LA, Milwaukee, from different places. Look, even the little kids say Minnesota. They know that they see different people in different areas, and they all got to come together to love each other. So it's a real good experience just to come recommend. Like, I recommend it because it's just a good community for real. It's a lovely experience. It's a good stress reliever if you would need to get away for a little while, just to have some time to yourself, have some time just to learn, live, and just learn how to be at peace, really. Because that's what I take from it. I took this year, I took a lot of patience especially with me being a Junior Nation builder and messing with the kids, helping them out, especially with the help of another nation builder, because the nation builder Kobe, he's from Chicago, and see like the different areas and the different life experiences help the kids and understand. Especially you might have the same circumstances as the kids, so it helps them cope with it and tell them like it's okay, you can fight through this and stuff like that. So it's good, it's lovely. So you just gotta keep it up.
Step away, did y'all let it sit in silence? Did y'all?
No, we got you. I just got.
All right, so y'all got anything else to say before we go on and upload this? Because
what about the food? How healthy was the food?
The food is amazing.
Oh man. Nice.
So
cooks.
who cooking? Who's cooking?
Uncle Sean.
He said Uncle Sean.
Fire was up in there. We was helping.
And Fire helps out to cook. They serve the food.
Now, what does that do? Women's supposed to do the cooking.
Wait, hold on. Wait, and then
it's important that we know how to cook too.
I thought the nation builder was like a leader. What you saying is y'all serving food?
Yeah, we could do a leader will do the behind the scenes stuff when nobody's looking. Like a leader will do everything.
Leaders do behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Go and explain what you mean by that. I'm because a lot of people think that the leader's supposed to always be out in the spotlight. You 16 and you sitting up here talking about leaders behind the scene. What if I say, man, that leader ain't supposed to be behind the scene. You supposed to be in front of the camera.
Nah.
You supposed to be getting served, right?
Nah, you supposed to do what other people won't do. Like I went to help in the kitchen, not just because I felt like I was gonna get recognition or something like that. Just because I knew we had to eat and I knew we needed help getting the food together. So Fire went up in there and we was helping in the kitchen every meal, every day. You know?
Y'all show now. Let's see what y'all can do.
Huh?
What's the question again?
He talking about the food.
And
like why leaders should be in the why leaders should be doing
my
everything.
thing is this with a leader. A leader, it shows leadership at all times, even behind the scenes. When you do it behind the scenes, it's just to show how much of a person you are and what can you do with them behind closed doors. What are the lessons that they learn behind closed doors? You feel me? So it's just what you gotta learn and how they teach you. A leader is somebody who leads by example. They don't gotta be in the spotlight all the time. They could be behind the scenes helping kids out, and then you never know. Maybe one of those kids be the biggest leader of them all. You never know. Yeah. Some little words can make a big difference to these kids, and I promise you that. It's just you gotta trust it, trust the process, as we say. Trust the process.
Elder Shez got a saying. He's always talking about the true character of a man is not what he does when he knows is what he does when he knows he won't be found out. So going and doing the stuff that nobody's going to talk about is like the most important. Like the things that need to be done is the most important thing when it comes to being a leader. Like you gotta, like you said, you gotta lead by example. You gotta know when stuff gotta get done and it's gotta get done, and it doesn't always matter about if somebody's gonna talk about it. It's gotta get done, you know.
Yeah, it's gotta get done, especially with the food. The Fire Tribe helps out in the kitchen to put the food on the table, and as a nation builder or junior nation builder, you gotta serve the food to the kids before you eat. So you gotta help the kids out whatever necessary. Like say if they want more cereal, I gotta stop eating and go get it.
Yeah.
There's no problem though, because it's supposed to help the kids have fun and have the best camp experience in their life. So,
all right, question. So I hear y'all be doing chants. Give me an example of a chant. I be hearing about y'all chants and stuff like that. You know, what is that for? What goes on with that?
Well, the chants, that's about remembering our history. Like we got one that goes like Hotep is our goal, keeps us warm when life grows cold. You know, like the slaves, they didn't have nothing but music. Like it was very much so that they had to, find peace in what they had, and music was that. So when we chant, we sing, we stomp, all of that, when we do all of that, it's like we kind of tapping into that peace. We trying to remember what they had to go through. We trying to like keep that struggle with us, keep our ancestors with us,
But let me add something into that. But with those chants, you gotta you tapping into your ancient roots.
Yeah.
You tapping into them. Remembering, especially that we have this thing called libations in the morning. You gotta You gotta greet everybody, greet the sun, greet people. Remember people that's come from the past. Remember ancient ancestors, personal ancestors, just historical ancestors. Just remembrance of everybody that helped. Especially remember Ma'afa, and the Ma'afa is the middle passage.
I was about to ask that.
Yeah,
I was about to ask that.
The middle passage.
So you said, but all right, the middle passage. What's that?
Middle.
It's the transatlantic slave trade. Basically, when they was bringing young and old Africans over from Africa to South America, North America, all of that, and not everybody made it. Some jumped, some got thrown over to the like they would throw Africans over the side to the sharks so that they could go swim, so that they could go wash up. So
they could swim and have fun with the sharks, or I mean,
so that they could like be safe and things like that. Like they
just to take a shower.
Yeah, just to take a shower. They did a lot of stuff.
So they would throw them overboard so that they could take a shower.
Yeah, and we got to remember the forgotten. We got to remember those that got thrown overboard. We got to remember those that got that jumped. Those that said, "I'm not gonna go through this." It's important to remember your ancestors, especially that. Like we cannot forget about that. That stuff like that. Yeah.
So
white people act like they never seen people.
So, well, I mean, you welcome to life, sir. That's why I asked you if you're 12. You know what I'm saying? You know. But so we spoke about the chants. You spoke about the importance. Now I got a question for you because y'all kind of. You said the transatlantic slave trade. You say slaves and stuff like that. What is the connection with you and the transatlantic slave trade?
What is the connection?
Yeah, is there a connection?
Well, we're African Americans, which means that our ancestors were African, and we were born in America. So, as African Americans, it's only natural. Like, we came from that slave trade. Like the people that came over there was our ancestors. Like, it's our family came from that. So it's important to remember what our family and our ancestors went through. Because if we forget it, we lose a part of ourselves. Like we just can't forget that.
Okay, so so the challenge that you may have and some of your other young people is that when you're talking about that, you got to make it a little bit more personal. Because the reason I'm asking is because y'all said the slaves and the transatlantic slave trade is personal.
Let's make this one personal then.
Go ahead.
Well, what makes this personal is like you got to remember this is your bloodline. This is a bloodline that goes far from way back. This is your bloodline. It's in your blood, and so you have to remember this. Got to. It's
not going back and.
It's in your blood, and the fact that it's not that far ago. Like it's not that far from my great grandma and them had to go through racism in those days. They didn't like all that stuff, and I know that. I've been told stories. It gets personal that way. Like stuff happens. Like racism happens. Like it still happens to this day. That's why it still correlates to this stuff. Racism is still alive, and that's the segregation and stuff. You gotta learn what stuff's happening.
All right. So when you discussing and describing your ancestors and the things they went through, I want you to be a little bit more personal with how you say it. They wasn't bringing slaves over here. They was bringing your ancestors over here. So it's a little bit different when you say what's transatlantic slave trade. It's almost like we divorce ourselves from that piece, like we can escape it, but you can't escape that. So all right. So any of the Simbas back there got anything they want to say to the people before I go on and shut it down? Y'all good? You speaking for all the Simbas? You boss Simba back there with the glasses on? Right. Y'all like that?
Right. You speaking for all the Simbas? I think I got somebody who want to speak. Maybe. Hey, you want to talk about Simba camp? Maybe.
Yes, sir.
Come on in.
Captain.
Come on, Captain. Let's go. I need you to speak on a couple things.
It was on the Malcolm X.
I'm about to get in the car.
Come on, Tracy 2.0. Come on.
Want some pork rinds?
I need you to speak on a couple things for me, sir. Go ahead. All right, tell me.
All right.
Hold up.
Where's the mic at?
I don't.
Pass me the
I
mic.
sure did.
I ain't about to go out there with my sugar.
Well then, I don't know. But talk about Simba Camp.
Aye, Captain.
Talk about Simba
Simba
Camp.
Camp is the camp to be.
Nah, like, go in detail. Like, what do you do? Like,
At Simba Camp, you experience life experiences. Like, recently at this year's Simba Camp, I went on my first fishing, and I caught like 6 fish. Yeah, big fish are over here. Yeah, and that I think that's an experience that I never would have had without Simba Camp, because most likely when I was dad, I'm probably scared of fish too. Also at Simba Camp, it gave me an opportunity to open up my platform to my brother as a poet and as an inspirational speaker, and I got to show my talents during the Simba Talent Show.
Hey, what'd you do?
how much is slush?
I did I wrote a poem while I was there, and then I
What's the poem?
$2.
You got it with you?
yeah.
Hey, you get a red and blue slushie instead with that.
You just shy? Don't say the poem.
Alright, so first with the poem, I started off with a Simba song. So it was like, hold on, keep it touching.
You performed it like that?
No.
Okay, can you perform it?
I need you to perform that poem,
If
man.
you gonna do the damn poem, do the
Come on,
poem.
do it. It was a lovely poem, man. Come on, you know you love that.
Alright,
Mr. Poet?
are you gonna say the song with me?
I can if you want me to.
Alright.
I got you, brother.
Hold on, keep
Judging alone. My body is weary, but my spirit is strong. You got to hold on, got work to do. The mighty Simba Nation got plans for you, so just hold on, brother, keep your head to the sky. Every time progress nailed by,
I may crawl.
and I may cry, but the road of the Simba won't die, won't die.
It's the roar, man.
Won't die. You
the
got
bass
to.
of my voice never be broken. But the fact that I have my brother never be barred, and my words stay free from this prison. We tell ourselves, how can I be strong, brave, talented, but how can you not? Do you see them people? Them people way over there filled with all them 7 unbalanced actions. The people over there that are willing to hate on you rather than cheer you up. Like my mentor always says, a blind man can see it, a deaf man can hear it. Or you have something that can reach the very depths of their souls and make them question who they really are. You are a Simba, born to do one thing, and that is to be great. Like Marina Wilson said, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate, but our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is not our light, it is not our darkness, but our light that most frightens us. We tell ourselves, who am I to be brave, bold, talented? Brave, bold, talented. Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God, nowhere compared, in no type of way compared to the man in the box. Yeah.
Now, I seen y'all stepping on Instagram.
It's on my face.
I saw some of y'all.
Did you see me?
I ain't seen you stepping on Instagram. I seen the one that I remember the most. He was in the front.
Oh, so we doing poems? Can I tell Mom?
Yeah, you do poem, but hold on. I want to give y'all some advice because I've been hearing that y'all been getting whooped by the girls at the reunion every year.
It's very, very true.
Oh, man.
Now,
I ain't even going to lie.
when y'all start stumping, y'all start too fast.
Right.
I believe that's true too.
Thank you.
Y'all start too fast.
Let's get in here, Cole.
You're supposed to allow the momentum and the power to build up with the stump, and then as the spirit hits y'all start speeding up. So then y'all trying to sing and stumping fast, your body's not ready for that, and you can't keep up the momentum. Y'all got to move slow and then move into it, and then allow the spirit to take y'all. But that's just some advice from the peanut gallery. I'm watching from the outside. But I do want y'all to gain back the pride of being able to say, because right now the sisters, oh my God,
They're killing us.
The sisters
They're killing us.
The one thing I was proud of y'all did add on, and too beautiful.
But also at Simba Camp,
Showed you out
I
the
learned
box.
that training at Simba Camp is not training at home.
What you mean? Explain that.
Explain that.
Because Hatim, it was raining yesterday, And then they wanted us to.
They said, let's go inside.
They was like, let's go inside. I'm like, my mentor, Hatem, would have been like, y'all some crybabies. Y'all would have never been able to make it with me.
Hey, that laugh was on point.
That's all I kept on thinking was the spirit of Hatem. I was just like, saying, man, Hatem would not allow me to stop. Hatem would not allow me to do none of this. Man, I would get made fun of. I would be clowned. It would be a whole different story. And then and then I also had to realize that because during our crossover process, like I was the leader of our group, and then I'm trudging along. The modest discrimination got plans for you. I'm on it, and then like everybody else couldn't keep up because they did, but like everybody else was like crying about keeping up, like. Except for Leslie too, but yeah, they was complaining about it. I'm over here like, saying, man, I'm ready to go back out in the rain. I'm ready to find these pieces, get it done with it, get it over. Everybody else was like, let's wait until the morning. I'm like, nah.
Nobody else. It was just some little kids. It was them little kids that said that we should have waited till the morning.
And the person that's saying that now was one of the main ones. But yeah, and it's like it was like a great experience for me. I'm obviously going to be at the Ohio camp, so if you guys do decide to send kids, tell them I said hi. Tell them Tykees, brother Tykees, soon to be a nation builder, about to be in fire, we'll be there. But anybody else want to tell their experience at summer camp? Go ahead, tell your poem.
Wait, my poem? I'm not ready. My experience at summer camp, this was my first year having kids. Since this was my first year having kids, I noticed that kids have an imprinting system on them. And me saying that is me noticing that a kid called me his dad at camp, and it just stuck. He said that first. But it just when kids look up to you, it's a beautiful thing, and it really hit me because this was my first year having kids, and the crossover process is bringing the kids over the line. Chamar not in here, and the crossover process is bringing the kid over the line and saying that they are a true Simba. I didn't think my first year being a nation builder that I was going to have to do it, but I did, and it kind of felt bad, even though that the kid who I didn't bring over the line was not able to. Like when we asked him how he did, even he couldn't say how he did because he knew that he was messing up all camp. And it felt bad that I couldn't fix him. I could not fix him, but try to help him fix his behavior or anything like that. But I can't make him do anything. I can only try to lead him.
Hold on. So you said everybody don't become a Simba?
Nah, not everybody become a Simba.
There are some people that failed.
The songs that we sing, they have actually a true meaning to them.
Explain.
Like the road to Simba. It's so hard. All of them. When it said,
like the people out there know. What you mean?
I'm saying like
give them a song.
It's so hard trying to be a Simba, and it's so far to the Simba land. Stop right there. That one part right there can sum up this whole week for the kids and the nation builders too. Because this whole week it kind of felt a little longer. Because as a junior nation builder at the beginning and turning into a nation builder at the end, I didn't expect that happening at the end. But the kids had a long week too, because every kid in my cabin at least cried one time because they missed their mom, and that's just facts.
How old was the kids in your cabin?
I had from 10 to 8 because the ages were like jumping everywhere this year. I had 10 to 8, but they all cried at least once because they wanted to go home, and it felt bad because it felt like I wasn't doing a good enough job. But then I also had to understand that kids and people alone get homesick, and I had to understand that, and I had to try to give them the best time that they could have at that camp.
And this probably their first time ever leaving out of town like this.
Yeah, I had a lot of first years too, so it was kind of hard on them, and it was hard on me because they didn't know a lot of stuff, but we had to teach them, and it was actually fun teaching the kids. It felt good.
Give me an example of something you might teach young people.
The songs was one of them. The songs were a big thing because
Give me an example of a song. I want to hear y'all sing.
It's so
hard trying to be a Simba, and it's so far to the Simba land. Oh, the mighty Simba nation. Oh, the Simba land. It's so
hard trying to be Simba, and it's so far to the Simba land. Oh, the mighty Simba nation. Oh, Simba.
Now that little boy that was singing is Nehemiah. He was in my cabin. Ain't that right, Nehemiah? What was one of the sayings I used to say all the time?
Ready?
What was one of the sayings?
You got everybody else.
It's so hard to be a Simba.
Me.
Most favorite.
What's so hard about being a Simba? It don't sound hard. Y'all be crying. Y'all said y'all be crying. What's so hard about being a Simba?
But he said, take it easy now.
The perseverance that you have to have, the integrity, the patience,
The thing, basically, when you are a Simba or you're trying to be a Simba, it's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff that you're representing. You're representing the people that's not with you right now. So like your mom and dad, your nation builders when their backs are turned. You're representing Baba. You're representing everybody who at least talked to you once and told you that they want you to push past that line, push past your self-imposed limitations. And that right there is saying that they're representing not just them, but they're representing everybody.
and it's not always easy.
And it's never easy, even for the nation builders, because they always have to go through something.
Always gotta go through something.
Yes, sir.
When you nation builders, give me an example of something you have to deal with in your cabin.
I had to go through. I had to go through somebody puking twice. Somebody threw up twice on the last day.
Anything else?
Talk about you said. What happened?
as a fire member this year, we went to different cabins and things like that. And I was with Emoja and Kuji Chakalia, the two youngest cabins. And in Kuji Chakalia, there was a kid named Azariah, and he has really, really bad. What is it called again? Asthma. He has really bad asthma. Sorry, my bad, bro. But he has to use his breathing machine. He has to use his breathing machine multiple times a day. And Nation Builder Jacoby, Nation Builder Jacoby was helping hold it down the whole time. And Nation Builder Kevin. Like, they was holding it down the whole time. This kid even went through the push-up competition. Like, he was going through it all. Like,
What was the top
and he
number
won.
for the
He
push-up?
won.
What was the top number for the push-up competition?
The top number?
169.
It was 167. 167 push-ups. This is for a kid with asthma. Like, what, 10 years old? That's crazy. Like,
10 years old.
yeah, his mom has asthma. Yeah, it's amazing the stuff that these kids go through. Like, and he was still trying to have fun the whole time. Like, he was asking, like, can I go in a canoe? You know, we'll see. We'll try and get you in a canoe. Like, he was doing it. Like, nothing phases this kid. It's amazing the kids that come to Simba. Like, you should really send your kids here because the people that you will meet is so amazing. The family aspect of it is just so great. Like,
All right, question. What makes Simba family? I heard y'all. I mean, come on now. You say the whole family aspect. What you mean?
Because there are situations where either your cabin, like the kids in your cabin, will have to go through, or you as becoming a junior nation builder or a nation builder go through. Because it's a lot of things. It's a lot of things that happen behind the scenes for nation builders, and it's a lot of things that happens with the kids that they fight at the beginning, and then like they're the best of friends, best of brothers at the end because of that bad relationship they had at the beginning because they didn't know each other and they didn't know how to act near each other. But they just became friends, or they just became brothers, and they just made that good relationship. And between nation builders, you learn that the nation builders are really they really bring you in when you become a junior nation builder or a regular nation builder.
Question: How many new nation builders were there this year?
There were 3.
There was 3 new nation builders.
Mm-hmm. Me, Kevin, and Naeem.
No, I ain't talking about. Now, when I say new, how many nation builders actually came from outside of the nation? First year nation builder. Period.
One.
Just one.
Now, had he ever been a Simba before?
No.
Okay. So y'all telling me that now Simba's at a point where Simba has produced his own nation builder.
Yes.
A majority.
We had about 14. We had about 14 nation builders that were once Simbas.
We had like 16.
And the boy who became a nation builder or junior nation builder this year, he was 18, but he also had things going on. Like, he was involved with the chapter that he came from with Simba.
He was involved with the who?
Chapter.
Okay. So y'all produce your own leader.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'm coming up there.
Probably.
So
Probably.
All right. I asked y'all to do the song twice, and y'all did I think y'all did the same song. Do another song for real this time, because y'all sounded horrible.
Oh, tab is our goal. Keeps us warm when life goes cold. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. Perseverance and respect. Intensity is what we need. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. Keep trudging along. My body is weary, but my spirit is strong. You gotta hold on, got work to do. The mighty Simbas Nation got plans for you, so just hold on, brother, keep your head to the sky. There'll be time for a rest nearby. I may crawl and I may cry, but the road of a Simba won't die. It won't die. Cause I'm so SIBA. Oh, my bad.
We can't give it all out now, all right?
I mean, y'all, we got time.
I was about to say, we might as well.
NBA.
NBA.
Simba, go all the way.
Simba, go all the way.
This is why the girls be beating y'all. Y'all be going too damn fast. Slow down with the song.
S I M NBA. S I M NBA. I want my SIM. I want my SIM. I want my SIM.
NBA.
I want my SIM. I want my SIM. I want my SIM.
NBA.
Cause nobody told me being a Simba wasn't easy. What? Nobody told me. What? Nobody told me. But I got to get to Simbaland, because the road to Simbaland is all rough and rugged. Take a heck of a man to make it all through. So if you ain't man enough to keep up this long journey, get your foot off my road. Let a real man through. Get your foot off my road. Cause Simba ain't for you.
Still too fast. Y'all just a little bit too fast. Y'all get it maybe in about 3 years. Now, I don't know.
3 years.
What y'all doing up there, Bob? They're moving fast. Nobody told me that. Come on, man. It's hard, but that's cool. But hey, anybody got any closing words? Because I'm gonna post this up. Anybody want to shout anybody out? Anybody want to shout out your nation builder? Anybody want to your favorite elder?
Shout out Larry and Jacoby.
Shout out nation builder me.
I want to shout out Sister Naima.
Shout out Nation Builder Shamar, and shout out Nation Builder Deshaun.
Nation Builder Naeem.
Shout out Nation Builder Andrew, aka Juicy.
Shout out Nation Builder Fred.
Want to shout out for Pastor Al Starr. He came.
Pastor Al came?
Yes.
Wow.
It's Planet Flute.
All right, so family.
And they got haircuts.
Oh yeah, I seen them. Yeah, I seen these. So you got people coming up doing haircuts. Family, just to let y'all know, Simba will be going live in Ohio on the 14th of this month. We might have some more spaces available. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Well, I don't know. We may be doing some other stuff in Ohio. I don't know. Is this going to become an annual thing, Baba?
Oh, yes.
All right, so,
and we also want to give a shout out to Millennium School because they have really hosted and embraced the whole idea of rites of passage. And rites of passage is something everybody needs. You don't need to exclude it. You need to include it. And they've done that. So I want to give a shout out for Millennium and their administrators from over there and anybody who's embraced rites of passage. I'm talking about not just saying it, but actually doing it. And that's what I've been seeing. And I also want to give a shout out and a request. If you're at least 50 years old, we need you. We really need you. These kids need to hear from us.
All right, so now y'all heard it. Y'all heard it from the Baba. Right now. So we're gonna go a little bit farther in the discussion about the role of a Baba on some future shows because oh my God, I got some information for y'all, family. But listen, support the camp. Yeah. So what I'm about to talk with the family about is throwing up a link so that those that might not be able to participate but want to support, you can support so that we can spill towards the camp because we still got to do some camping trips in Columbus as well. So we is halfway through the summer, but we got all of this summer and a lot of the fall to start preparing for a camping trip. So family, y'all get ready. Simba's coming, and then we got other camping trips coming too. So get your mind right. And as Baba said, get involved. Oh, you're over 50 and you got a story, you done lived your life, and you want to pass that wisdom on, you need to get involved.
You can even teach a kid how to fish. You'd be surprised how humbling it is for kids to fish. It really is. I want to give a shout out to Greg Arnold. He's one of the cornerstones of Simba in Columbus for Franklin County Children's Services. Daryl Cobb, all Franklin County Children's Services is trying to embrace rites of passage. And we need that. The kids need to know the origin of who they really are, and rites of passage does that.
Elder Greg is on the Tawi. Well, you in
Tawi Temple, yes.
Right, so you need to invite them to that camp.
Yes.
Did you?
Not well. Some came.
I'll take care of it. I'm talking about invite them to the camp in Ohio. Do they know?
No, they may not know.
I'll take care of it.
I'll make sure they know now.
I'm gonna post this up. Make sure you like and share, family. And this is Brother Hatem. We streamed a little bit. Probably was kind of splotchy, but it is what it is. So let me remind you who you listening to. Hold on. Family, you are now within the congregation of the mighty. This is the home of the stubborn minority. This is the place where your hustle build muscle. You are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Media. This is a Heart of a Simba production, and right now you just got done listening to some of the Simbas. And of course it's Heart of Simba production, where we strive to blow up your old paradigms. We out.